My name is Melissa, and I'm 37 years old. I had everything a person could wish for: a wonderful 16-year-old son, and an amazing, loving, caring husband. Let's call him Kevin, who was older than me by 8 years. He was a truly devoted partner, someone who put family above everything, someone who worked tirelessly to make sure we never went without. But I destroyed it all because of my own stupidity. I know plenty of people will judge me, throw metaphorical stones, maybe even feeler little schadenfreude. I honestly don't blame them, but I wouldn't wish this nightmare on my worst enemy. I'm sharing my story in hopes that it might stop someone else from going down this awful path. As I said, I'm 37. My son, Alex, turned 16 recently, and I couldn't even bring myself to congratulate him. He wants nothing to do with me, and I don't blame him. I wronged him and his father, my now late husband, in the worst possible way. If only I could rewind time and undo the damage. Let me just emphasize one more time. Kevin was a really good man, both as a father and as a partner. He never looked at another woman, only had eyes for me, and he was like a best friend to Alex. He gave us everything, made sure we were always safe, comfortable, and happy. Yet I, in return, repaid him in the cruelest way imaginable. It started when Kevin fell seriously ill. The illness took a toll on his heart, and, well, the doctors didn't help much either. Let's just say things got complicated. Despite being the kind of guy who never drank or smoked, Kevin ended up with severe heart issues. Even then, he kept on working, practically pushing himself to the brink, just to make sure me and Alex were okay. But because of his condition, things changed in the bedroom. He never turned selfish, far from it. He always tried to focus on me first, then himself. But he'd often start gasping for breath in the middle of everything, needing a minute or two to recover. And it always seemed to happen at the worst possible moment. I know many women will understand how frustrating that can be. But let me be clear, I wasn't looking for a replacement, nor did I plan on cheating. The thought never crossed my mind, at least not consciously. It just happened, almost like I was on autopilot. And by the time I realized what was going on, it was too late. It all began when I signed up for some professional courses, just a way to keep my skills sharp. There, I met Jason, who was 11 years younger than me. Considering Kevin was 8 years older, that's nearly a 20-year difference between the two men. At first, Jason and I just chatted. Then he started giving me rides home. Then we went for coffee, caught a movie or two. A couple of times he tried to kiss me, and I turned away. But on the third try, I caved, and we ended up kissing. Next thing I knew, he brought me back to his apartment, and we had this wild marathon night of intimacy. Something I hadn't experienced in what felt like forever. I lied to my family that night, saying I had to stay late at the courses, then got stuck at the library. Later, the reality hit me like a ton of bricks. I spent 2 hours scrubbing myself in the shower, sobbing uncontrollably, dreading even looking my husband and son in the eye. My heart was gnawed by guilt and shame, but at the same time, I felt addicted to Jason, like I couldn't let go. It was a magnetic pull. I kept telling myself it was a temporary fling that would blow over soon, and I absolutely had no intention of leaving Kevin. Eventually, the day came when I paid the ultimate price. Kevin and Alex decided to go fishing overnight, which they did sometimes, father and son bonding. That particular evening, I felt lonely, so I called Jason, and he came over. It was the first time I'd actually invited him into our home. Believe me, I know how horribly wrong that is. I'm disgusted with myself just writing this, but I wasn't thinking clearly. I wanted the rush, the excitement, and I guess I didn't care about the consequences. We ended up in our bedroom, mine and Kevin's, tangled in each other. It's revolting to admit, but that's how low I'd sunk. I was so lost in the moment that I didn't notice the rain starting outside. Nor did I hear my husband and son returning early because of that rain. I didn't hear the key in, the lock or the door opening. Maybe we had music blasting. Or maybe we were just caught up in our own world. I only snapped out of it when I saw Kevin standing in the doorway. I'll never forget that look on his face. It was anguish, betrayal, confusion all at once. His face turned pale. His eyes bulged, and he grabbed his chest as he slid down the wall, desperately trying to breathe. I didn't even think to cover myself. I ran to him, shook his shoulders, screaming, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Alex sprinted to the kitchen to find his dad's heart medication, and Jason fumbled to put on his pants while calling 911. None of it helped. The meds didn't work. The paramedics couldn't arrive in time. Kevin died right there in my arms. His final words, spoken in a trembling whisper, were, why? Soon the ambulance people arrived. Along with the police, they took Kevin's body away. Jason had to sign some documents as a left. Mumbling that he'd call me later, my son turned on me with so much hate, calling me a whore, a murderer, saying he'd never forgive me for robbing him of his father. He grabbed some of his stuff and went to stay with Kevin's mom. The next morning, my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law showed up at the house. They slapped me repeatedly, yanked my hair, hurled insults, and told me under no circumstance was I allowed at the funeral. If you dare show up, you'll get lynched, they said. They also told me Alex considered me dead to him, that he had no mother anymore. After they stormed off, I tried calling Alex, but he wouldn't pick up. Finally, he answered once, saying, Lady, don't call this number again, and hung up. Then he changed his number, blocked me on all social media. I lost him too. Jason called, offering his condolences, saying how sorry he was for all of it, but I can't face him right now either. I've turned to alcohol. My life now is basically booze, work, messing around online. I don't know how to go on, or if I even should. To all the girls and women out there, please don't betray the ones who love you. One reckless act can destroy everything you hold dear. And trust me, if you do end up in my shoes, you'll never stop regretting it.